If it's carbonated,
Yeah.
I'm all for.
Okay.
Actually, this is a great point. If it's carbonated, I hate drinking it out of plastic, and I have to drink it out of aluminum. Like, you ever buy a
Like a 20-ounce
like
bottle
a
of some.
plastic bottle of
Yeah.
Coca-Cola?
Yeah, it sucks.
No one likes that.
Yeah.
So I file anything carbonated
Yeah.
has to be in aluminum.
All right, episode 162. We're back, Rob.
162.
We
Not a
are
whole lot
back.
exciting about that number.
No, they're just numbers. Like we said last time, they're just numbers for us. Well, let's just jump right into it. Because we're busy. We got things to do. And everybody listening to this is busy and they've got things to do too. You
And
know?
more importantly, everybody's chomping at the bit to hear what we're going to talk about.
Absolutely. So what is today's topic, my friend?
I thought we would talk about packaging trends, right?
Packaging trends.
I had
Okay.
an interesting packaging experience the other day, and it made me sort of think about this and think about
Okay.
how packaging has changed and evolved and
Yeah.
where it could potentially go in the future.
Yeah. Well, we talked a little bit about that restaurant down the street too, Muchacho, right?
Yeah,
How they
we
had
did.
some cool to go packaging and things like that, and just sort
They
of
had,
the vibe of the brand. But you had another pagging experience, is what you're
I
telling me.
did, I
Okay.
did. So, and this was kind of interesting. So, well, I thought it was interesting.
Yeah.
So I ordered a pair of shoes.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. I'm down with it.
That's it. That's the end of the story.
Okay. Great. Shoes.
Now I
Let me ask
ordered,
you this. Did they come in
this
a
was
box?
probably, it's important when I ordered the shoes. I ordered the shoes probably, I don't know, 3 months ago, 3 or 4 months
Whoa.
ago.
Okay. All
Mm.
right.
And it's a pair of golf shoes.
Okay.
Okay. New golf shoes. And I ordered them from a company called G4.
Okay.
Okay.
Got it.
GFORE.
Okay.
If you're curious and want to look it up.
I like it.
And they are they're not inexpensive golf shoes,
Okay.
right? I think I'm not afraid to say it. I think the pair I bought was a little over $200.
Okay. Okay. That's a
For the
treat
shoes.
yourself shoe. Is what that is.
Yeah, well, it's
Yeah.
going to make me a better golfer. So,
Of course it is.
This is important.
Yeah. Yeah.
So anyway, I bought the pair of shoes. I've never owned anything from this company before, so this
Okay.
was a new experience.
Got it.
A new brand introduction for me. But I've always liked their stuff. So I bit the bullet. I ordered the
Yeah.
shoes, and the shoes arrived in a box, a shoe box, if you
In a
will.
shoebox. Okay. All right.
And the box was the whole experience of opening the shoes and revealing the shoes was pretty amazing, just from a
Okay.
packaging experience.
Awesome.
Because the front, it wasn't a traditional shoebox. The front was that magnetic enclosure that everybody, that's a trend, certainly, is magnetic
Sure.
enclosures. And
Sure.
and a trend I'm happy to be a part of. 'Cause it's
I
great.
think it's fun. It has a sophisticated feel to it for sure.
It absolutely does. So shoebox, you open it up, and then it's just a great presentation. The shoes are there. There's like a nice thank you card
Okay.
on top. And then they included a little ball marker, right? So a little gift
Okay.
ball marker that was kind of inset into this thank you card
Okay.
for the shoes. And so and that was it. I mean, that was it
Yeah.
for the shoes.
Okay.
Well, the box, I remember standing there and I was opening them in the kitchen, and my wife was standing there, and I was like, I remember going, hey, look at these cool shoes. And then immediately putting the shoes down and going, but look at this. But look at the box they came in.
Yeah,
Like, look how amazing this is. And look how, like, this is like a nice box.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so from there, I was like, I'm not, and I literally said out loud, I'm not going to throw this box away.
Yeah,
Like,
you can't throw the box away. Yeah.
I can use this box. This is a great, like, and she kind of looked at me like I was crazy. She's like,
Yeah.
do we need another shoe box? I was like,
Yeah.
no, but
Yeah.
look at the box, babe.
Yeah.
Anyway, fast forward to this past weekend and a little spring cleaning. I was cleaning out my closet,
Okay.
and I finally, and there was the box. The box has been sitting in my closet for 3-4 months.
Okay.
And I finally was like, I had a conversation with myself. I was like, and I'm not a hoarder by any stretch of the imagination. I
will second that. Yeah.
I'm not a hoarder. And I was like, I wrestled for a good
Yeah.
3 or 4 minutes as to whether or not I should throw away this box, knowing full well I'm not going to use the box.
Yeah.
Um, and so I did. I'm sad to say I threw out the box. I threw out the
Okay.
box. But the point of the story is the shoes are great. I love the shoes, but this box was of such great quality and cool
Mhm.
design
Interesting.
that I didn't throw out a simple shoe box.
Yeah.
It took me 4 months to throw it out. So, I guess the takeaway there is, um, and it's obviously scalable on price point. If you pay a lot
Sure.
for something, you expect a better brand
Sure.
experience, right?
Sure. Yeah,
Out of the
this is
gate.
the anti-DSW, where it's like crumpled, horrible boxes
It's
that are just
tissue
out
maybe
on the
there's tissue
floor.
paper in there,
Yeah.
maybe there's not.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. 16
Um,
other people have tried that shoe on before you decided to pull it out of
yeah,
the shelf. It's all
yeah.
cattywampus and crappy, and, like, you are throwing away that box immediately as if you choose to buy one of those shoes, you know? So
I'm glad you said that about DSW shoe boxes because I'm gonna do a quick little tangent
okay.
and ask you a question.
Sure.
Have you seen their new spots?
No.
Okay. So the quick overview, DSW, for those who don't know, is the call it discount shoe store. They have all different brands.
Discount Shoe Warehouse, I think is what
It's
they're
like
called,
Shoe
right?
Warehouse. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
right. There's a new spot, and it is this woman. She's very excited about shoes.
Okay.
And there are shoe boxes all over the ground. And at one point in the spot, towards the beginning, she's hopping from shoebox to shoebox,
Okay.
almost like you would walk on like stones across a creek or something,
Okay,
right? Or
got
like
it, got it.
hopscotch
Yeah,
kind
yeah.
of thing.
Okay, okay, got it. I'm with you.
And all I can think to myself every time I see the spot, those shoe boxes would crumble. Like
Yeah.
there's no way,
Okay.
like
Yeah,
it
yeah.
wouldn't work. And I cannot watch the spot. And you haven't seen it, so
Without
you can't
thinking that
weigh in.
thought.
But I'm like,
Okay.
no, no, no. The shoe boxes would,
Yeah, I mean, they're Nike boxes, they're Merrell boxes, they're Puma
yeah,
boxes, they're all the things, but they are I feel like they are of lesser quality. I maybe that's not the fact, but, like, they're just crumple like, a b but also that's their thing. It's like going to Costco or BJ's or Sam's, it's
yeah.
like, yeah, it's sitting there on a pallet. You know what I mean?
But
Like, yeah.
it's not a suspend your disbelief spot. Like, oh, we're riding on a unicorn and we're doing,
Yeah,
magical
yeah, yeah,
things
yeah,
or
yeah, yeah.
whatever. It's like just a woman dancing around, but I'm like, "No, no,
Yeah,
no, no.
yeah.
That would
That
never
would
work."
not
And that's all
those
I can think about.
those
I
crappy
bet I
little
could
boxes
stand
would
on the
not hold
G4
water.
box. I
Yeah.
bet I could stand on the G4 box.
That's fantastic. So, okay, so what did you do? Did you pitch the G4 box?
It's gone.
You
Threw it
did.
out.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not happy about it.
You should have taken a video of it, take a picture of it, then you'll always
But I
have
think
yeah.
the trend is, and as I mentioned, I will get back to the subject. As I
Sure.
mentioned, it's scalable, obviously based on price point.
Yeah,
And the more you pay, the more premium you expect the
yeah,
overall experience to be,
sure,
starting with the packaging, because that's
sure.
often your first
Yeah,
experience with the
yeah,
brand,
yeah.
as we talked about.
Yeah, this is not dissimilar to the iPhone, right? Where it's like they put time and effort in to make
Oh yeah.
sure that like it slides out a certain,
Perfectly.
perfectly. And there's,
Perfectly.
inserts and, like the
Yeah.
way that it's all Apple packaging is made a very specific way,
And
So,
and it's expensive. I mean, if somebody
yeah,
put some serious
yeah,
money into
yeah.
to the
Well,
packaging.
just the magnet enclosure, that little click, I mean, I'm a
Oh,
sucker for that. I love that. But we've got one client that still uses that, and I love it. So,
the magnetic packaging?
yeah.
Well, we did that for RiaJet years and years and years and years
We
ago.
did. We did that right on the front end of the
That's
yeah,
right.
exactly.
It
We
was
were
the
trendsetters.
Leatherman. It was the
Mhm.
Leatherman tool with
I
the
do
front end
remember that. I do
notch.
remember that. Vivex
But
still uses it,
I
so
think another trend, that I'm seeing and what they did was what G4 did was they included the little G4 logo ball marker, right?
yeah,
So oftentimes there's something in there to keep you engaged with the brand on a longer
yeah.
term basis, right?
Supplemental, yeah.
So I think that's probably a trend that we're seeing.
Yeah, more and more, even when you buy from a specialty online retailer of some sort, like, at the bare minimum, they're throwing in a couple stickers.
Oh
Right?
yeah.
Because
Oh yeah.
you're gonna stick it on this thing, you know what I mean? You're gonna put they're trying to do the Salt Life approach, where suddenly, all of a sudden, everybody's got Salt Flight stickers on their cars and trucks,
Yeah.
10 years ago, right? And it was like, "Where did this come from? What even is this?" That type of
Right. That's
So
right.
everybody's sending you stickers no matter what. That's kind of a
Yeah.
Vans used to do that. I mean, I feel like back in the '80s,
Oh,
speaking of
Van
shoes
stick
go.
off the wall
Yeah,
stickers?
remember that little off the wall with the skateboard and
Oh
I
yeah.
feel like Vans was doing that in the '80s. Maybe I'm wrong on that one, but
No, I
I
think they were because those stickers
yeah.
were everywhere. I
Yeah.
do recall that.
Yeah, a lot of
So I
stickers.
think, I think the brands are starting to, not starting to, but are really embracing how important that first engagement
Mhm.
is
Yeah.
with, and they do that through packaging, right?
Yeah. Yeah, totally.
Um, Sonos does a really good job of now again, it's a high-end product,
Yeah. Yeah.
but their packaging is absolutely phenomenal,
Yeah.
I would say. What's another one that I've experienced recently? Oh, so I take that supplement, AG1. You're familiar with
I am
AG1?
familiar with AG1, yeah.
So I take that stuff. Now, does it work? Does it do anything? I have no idea. But the brand sold me, right?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
read lots of things that sound really great about it.
Okay.
And when you get the first, order, you get an amazing box. And in the box is the pouch for the actual
Mhm.
supplement, the
Sure.
powder,
Sure.
and it's a really well done, it's like soft touch.
Mhm.
It's like a soft touch resealable
Yeah.
pouch.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah,
really,
yeah.
really well done, and it better be because they charge you a lot for this stuff.
Nice.
And then you get a bottle, right? Like a little, I don't have it here, but like a little clear water bottle.
Okay.
It's branded AG1,
Or you can
right?
mix
And
your stuff and
that's
yeah.
your keepsake, and you
Yeah.
mix your drink up in there. You get the scooper, right? You
Okay.
get your little scooper, and so they're all laid out differently, and it's just a really nice, it's a really nice presentation, right?
Mhm.
And that's
Yeah.
where, in that one, it's interesting because the part of the packaging, it becomes the product, right? So the bottle that you keep with
Yeah.
you, not a supplement for supplement's sake. It's
Sure.
there and you use it every day just to remind you, hey,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
to let everyone else know.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
Look how fit and lean and healthy
yeah,
I am.
looking handsome. No, but you're using the accoutrement of things that came in that box, which is
That's right.
exciting, so,
That's
I
right.
think if we're talking about brands, I will say a brand that I just, purchased some from, but kind of more on the industrial side of packaging, not necessarily consumer packaging, like I'm picking things up in a grocery store or an environment like that, would be Thuma, of all places. Like, Thuma started with the beds, right?
Yeah.
You're familiar with Thuma, right? The low
I was about to say,
Okay.
I'm not
It's
very familiar with Puma.
Thuma, and
Okay.
they kinda brought the Japanese, like Nectar and Casper everybody does it now, but it's like the bed frame that you assemble with no tools, no nothing, and everything just kinda slots
Oh, it's
together,
just like,
and
okay,
it's that
gotcha.
Japanese kind of inspired masonry, right, where it's like, "Hey, here's 6 pieces of wood and, like, Lincoln logs, and you're done."
And then you're
You
done.
know, that type of thing, right? So years and years and years ago, we got a Thuma. Now they've taken over the whole house, right? You can get bookshelves, nightstand I mean, they've got all the different furnitures outside
Okay.
of, um but if you go to, we recently I bought a new dresser, and you buy the dresser by, drawer, and it's totally, like, customizable. Do you want a 2 by
Wait, what
3
do you mean you
or
buy
a
it by
3
drawer? Like
by
you
3?
start with the drawer design? Is
Yeah.
that what you mean?
Yeah, 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 it's how many drawers do you want your dresser to be?
Okay.
And, they will ship you 5 drawers, they will ship you, 6 drawers, 11
Okay.
like what like how it's totally customizable to your configuration, right?
Yeah.
Well, what's interesting about the packaging is from an industrial design perspective, it's like Apple, but in the cardboard, like, meant to be broken down recycling scenario. I wish I could
Okay.
show you, the boxes, because they come via UPS and they get beat to hell, right?
Yeah.
But this
Right.
really, really nice, expensive piece of furniture is inside of it, right? But the outside packaging is your cardboard industrial design it's a self shipper. It's meant to
Yeah.
it's not like Apple where you get the cardboard box and then, oh, the nice white
It's not the
box is
box within the
inside.
box. Right.
Yeah,
Right.
but the packaging is so nice. You're gonna think this I'm crazy for doing this. I am definitely more of a hoarder than you are. I'm like, "I gotta hold
Yeah.
on to that. I might need that."
Yes, that
And
is
if
absolutely true.
yeah, that piece of wood, I might use that piece of wood at some point. You know what I mean? Those packing peanuts, right? I mean, hey,
Bent
yeah,
rusty nail, you never
yeah.
know.
Bent rusty nail, I'm probably throwing away. But
Right.
um, anyway, these boxes, I mean, they're huge, dude. I mean, it was the dresser. I mean, I had tons and tons and tons of these boxes. There's no way to like easily break these things down because they're meant to withstand, like a tank driving over. It's unbelievable, these boxes, right? So I put them on Facebook Marketplace as like, hey, these are arguably the greatest moving boxes ever. you know? And
Yeah.
people absolutely came, and there was this woman that came and was like, "Oh, yeah, I'm moving to Denmark," or whatever. "These will totally withstand, like, the shipping container and the this and that," you know? And it was like, boxes so good. They're just industrial boxes, like, but boxes so well constructed that it's like, I can't just break these things down and recy like, someone can use this thing, is kinda what I
How
felt
many
like, you
boxes
know?
were there?
Oh, dude. Well, I bought a lot of these drawers. I mean, I did, I did a 3 by 3, so I've got 9. I had 9 of those boxes, and then we used them for nightstands as well because it all matched or whatever like that.
Okay.
And so we had a lot of boxes, and they're heavy. And they're heavy, but that's really more just on the industrial design side of life, which I still think is important because
It's still packaging.
yeah, no, but in today, we don't always go to a store and buy things now, right? We kind of do all of our researching online. We do our, snooping and review checking, and then we end up buying it online without really seeing it, right? So
Right.
when UPS drops it off at your front door, that is the package, right? And
That's right.
they always have fun little headlines, a little messaging on it, and kind of
Yeah.
the box is the instruction, but it's like open this first and open this flap and do, like it's very kind of whimsical, if that makes sense. Um, and, that is the impression, like they don't have retail packaging. They have, self-shipping packaging, that type of thing.
Right.
So, yeah. No,
Right.
it's a cool brand. Thuma is a pretty cool brand. Um, it's furniture. It's not necessarily the cheapest thing, kind of like what you're mentioning with some of the other brands, but,
Yeah. Yeah, well, I
um,
was gonna ask, is it like high-end, is it like high-end furniture? I mean,
yeah, yeah.
are we mid-tier? Or we're
It's
gonna go look it up,
mid-tier.
of course,
Yeah,
but
no, it's mid-tier. It's a
yeah,
mid-tier,
yeah.
they're pretty nice dressers. I mean, they got the soft clothes and all the stuff. It's a pretty good brand.
I
They've
do
got
love soft
I think they
clothes.
have 2 showrooms, one now in San Francisco and one in New York, I think,
Okay.
where you can go, but it's really more of an online specialty retailer
Yeah.
for
It
furniture.
sounds like a Joybird type
Yeah.
situation, right? You order, I want these legs, I want this
Yep.
color, I want this cushion
Yeah.
configuration,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah, do
which
you
is a
want
trend in
maple?
and of itself, custom design furniture that you
Yeah,
can
it's
do
do
on.
you want maple? Do you want walnut? Do you want cherry? Like, what do you want? That type of
Yeah.
thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they have like a $400 dog bed, it's like, I mean, it's yeah, there's some stuff in there you're like, "What? This is crazy," but I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. I really like their stuff, so and it worked really well, for us, but I think, since we're speaking brands, that's a brand, yeah, right, from the industrial
Yeah.
perspective. I think what's tough now in today's day and age as it relates to packaging is I'm just gonna call it the supply chain factor, right? How do if you are a bigger brand like we're talking about and you can do specialty things and you can withstand 90 days of manufacturing potentially somewhere else like Apple
Right.
does, right? And shipping and transit and things like that, right? Then you can truly be unique, right? You can custom match your plastics or your bottles or your whatever you need, right, to your
Yeah.
specific brand colors. And you can go as crazy as you want to go, right? Or you're stuck with, hey, here's what's domestic, low quality, not low quality, low quantity, excuse me, and you
Right.
kind of, do you want it black or do you want it white or clear? You know what I mean? Like there's
Right.
only so then it's kind of there's that fork in the road, I think, right, from a packaging perspective of, true custom and uniqueness, right, versus what's readily available in lower quantities. And then how do you maximize that,
Correct.
So
I think if I were to do like here's a 180-degree point of view, is a trend being don't change a thing, right?
yeah.
So if we think about, you know, less expensive things, I think specifically of like, and we've talked about these examples before, but like, Tropicana, right? And when they
Yeah.
changed their classic packaging,
Yeah.
and there was a revolt. There was
Yeah.
a
They shot
revolt in the orange juice aisle,
Yeah, they shot themselves in the foot, it's
and
crazy.
people went, "No, no, no, why would you change something that's
Yeah.
so iconic," right?
Yeah. Yeah.
A bag of M&Ms, it doesn't change.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
no need for any of those to change, and I think it would actually hurt them, and has proven that it does if
Yeah.
they were to change things. Now, again, that's talking about scalability and price point and
Sure.
everything else, but I'm a sucker for good packaging, man. I love it. I'm a
Yeah,
big
I think,
fan of.
packaging, like the infrastructure, the industrial design of the thing itself
Yeah,
versus the graphics that are on that thing, right? Like,
Yeah.
a can of Coke hasn't changed in forever, you know what I mean? Like, I mean,
Correct.
maybe we got the wide mouth can at some point, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, on beers and things like that, but, like, an aluminum can is an aluminum can, but religiously, every 2 years, Coca-Cola will update their packaging. They change something graphically,
Yeah.
right? They will tinker a little bit here and there, right? So, Lay's, Doritos, all those Frito-Lay brands, every 2 years on the clock, they will update their graphics, right? But the bag of chips hasn't really changed. Like the Mylar bag of chips
Yeah.
hasn't changed, And so, yeah, I mean, packaging is a complicated thing because you have, the brand experience you're talking about with your golf
Yeah.
shoes, right? Where you've created a little moment in time where you're experiencing it versus, yeah, a bag of chips. Like, I don't want Lay's to re-engineer the bag. I wanna open that bag as fast as possible and get to the salty goodness, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't need a brand experience, with my Doritos, you know what I mean? Like, so there's so many different avenues and paths of packaging, I guess, So
All right, question for you.
yeah.
How do you feel about drinking bottled water out of an aluminum vessel?
Hmm.
So, I can think of a couple of examples. Obviously, liquid death is
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
is
liquid
the
death is probably the only time I've ever done it, I mean,
That's
we
not true. That's not true,
that's not
because we
true?
worked on a client
Well, I was gonna say that. We worked on a client that had a
with the
spring
screw top.
water. Yeah, we had a
What
spring
was it?
water.
What was the brand? I don't even remember.
I mean, by worked on a client, it really was more of a pitch, wasn't it? Like a
It was a
one-off
pitch.
project. It
Yeah,
was a pitch
it
and a
was a
one-off
pitch.
project. I don't know. I don't know. There was another company too that bottled something out of some spring in
Yeah.
Idaho or something and sent us all those samples, and we never really engaged with those guys either. You know,
What
I mean, I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah,
we're you know, we should stop drinking out of plastics. I mean, with all the
we
microplastics in
should.
there,
We
I mean,
should.
it's a known thing. It's, I mean,
Sure.
like it, yet, bottled water at the grocery store, the cheapest version of that still comes in those shrink wrapped, 18 bottles of,
Yeah.
water
Crystal
or whatever.
Springs.
Yeah,
Right.
distilled water from Publix, that type of thing, right? Um, I mean, I don't have a problem with it. I don't think it's as readily available as maybe it probably should be, you know?
Yeah,
Um,
I have a problem with it. I got a
you
problem with
don't
it.
like drinking. Have you
No,
had a liquid
I can't
death?
stand it, and I'll tell you why.
Does it taste like metal to you?
Well, it's not even the taste. It
Okay.
is I don't it to me, in that case, since we're talking about packaging, the packaging outshines the product,
Yeah.
right? It would be like
Okay.
opening a nice box of something and finding really shitty shoes inside.
Yeah.
Like, it's that
Yeah.
that's what happens in my brain, like, I
Yeah.
can't and
Like,
I
it's
know we
just
shouldn't
water.
drink out of plastic
Yeah.
bottles, like, I
Yeah.
get it. Love
Mhm.
recycling. Um,
Yeah.
but I like to drink water out of a plastic I mean, I don't. I use a
Yeah.
recyclable bottle, so don't kill
Yeah.
me, but,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
um,
yeah.
I can't drink it out of a any
Well,
type of aluminum. It just doesn't work.
everybody in my life would tell me that I don't drink enough water to begin with, so
Yeah,
I
yeah,
should probably just start drinking water regardless as to what it comes out of, but,
yeah, and
um
to me, I think it's because it's a fuel it's a necessity. You drink
okay,
water because it's a
what about
necessity.
the liquid death, like sparkling, like your sparkling LaCroix and all that
Okay,
kind of stuff, right? Because
great
that's coming
question.
out of an aluminum can,
Great
right?
question. Because to me, I file that under soda.
Okay, okay,
I mentally file that under
okay.
soda.
Well, and
So,
they do have different flavor profile. I know the pamplemousse versus the lime
yeah,
versus what, like, they're
yeah.
slightly different, but they are
If
different.
it's carbonated,
Yeah.
I'm all for
Okay.
actually this is a great point. If it's
Okay.
carbonated, I hate drinking it out of plastic, and I have to drink it out of aluminum. Like, you ever buy
Like a 20 ounce
like
bottle
a
of some.
plastic bottle of
Yeah.
Coca-Cola?
Yeah, it sucks.
No one likes that. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, I file anything carbonated,
Yeah.
has to be in aluminum.
Yeah.
Aluminum.
Aluminum as,
Aluminum.
as Johnny Ive used to say. Yeah,
That's
exactly.
right.
So, yeah, I
Aluminum.
mean, packaging, I mean, it is kinda like fashion to a certain extent. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
it's a competitive from a graphic perspective, it's a competitive shootout with who's on the aisle near you, right? When we were doing a lot of dog food packaging and a lot of, work with Mars and whatnot, right? I mean, we'd go to their research center and we'd build entire Walmarts and look at the
It's
entire
crazy.
competitive set. And then do you remember we used to make like 50 mock-ups of this,
Crazy.
and do the whole, you're right? Because you want to see what you look like, next to everybody else, right? And not,
Yeah.
and then you've got private label versus house brand versus, retail, so like the package design shootout is such an interesting sort of
It is.
conversation about, is it minimalism? Do you have benefit statements on there? Do you purposely look industrial versus everybody? I mean, that's a whole nother crazy ball of wax. But I think what we've kind of been talking about a lot today really is more of that, the packaging on the experience of the brand, right? And of kind
Yes.
of creating a brand experience, right? When you're, activating a product that you bought, right? Which I think is pretty cool. So,
I think that's the
uh,
trend, and I hope I'm here for it.
yeah, I would agree with
I'm
that.
absolutely here for it.
I would agree with that. If you've got a package, or if you got a product and you need to design that package, who would you call, Rob?
I would call, the 2 guys that you're looking at and
Yeah.
talking to. I would call these guys.
Okay.
We have a wealth, dare I say, a wealth,
We
an
do.
abundance
Yes.
of experience
Yeah, I
from
mean,
dog
package design
food.
is one of our core competencies for sure, and I would
Absolutely.
say honestly both on the, industrial side as well as the consumer retail side,
That's right.
medical packaging, for example, a whole different ball of wax and things than like, "Hey, pick me up in the grocery store, pick me up in the grocery," like
Yeah,
that type of
just
thing, right? So,
dog treats. Right.
yeah, yeah, dog treat. I will never forget watching, I remember texting one of our clients at like 9 o'clock at night, which, for me, like 5:31, that's it. Like,
Yeah, do
pencils
not try
down.
and text this guy after
We will we will
5:30.
we will fire up the design machine tomorrow morning, right? But I remember seeing stuff that we had designed in a TV show that I was watching and
Mm,
having a moment like, "Wow, oh my god!" Like, can you like rewind the TV, and
it's
taking a
real.
picture and like, "Hey, that's super fun," I'll never
It's
forget that
real.
moment. That was a fun little moment, So package design's cool, man. It's a fun thing to work on.
It's
So
fun. We love it.
yeah,
We're good at it. Call
yeah,
us.
yeah.
How about that?
Yeah, that works. I'm into it. All right.
All right,
Well,
awesome.
yeah. We'll see everybody, next time then.
For 163.
Yeah.
All right, everybody.
All right. See you
Thanks.
guys.